Hey Archery Talk, this is Lucas, and usually around this time of year, I've just run the 2020 target bow speed test. I'll go right into my long-term reviews in the shootout. But I know the speed test is one of the most important videos for you viewers, but I think probably the most important category for these bows for me is draw cycle. So I thought I would do a special video just on each of the draw cycles of the 4 target bows I've got this year and my likes on them, and I'll kind of show you which ones are my favorite. It's one of just a handful of categories I use to kind of determine my bow of the year, but I thought it was important enough to maybe stand on its own for a video this year. So let's see how it goes, and we're going to start with my favorite. So I'm going to start, as I mentioned, with my favorite draw cycle of the year, and that to me is going to be the Bowtech Reckoning, specifically in the comfort mode. And I'm going to kind of try to explain to you why right now. I'll draw an arrow back. It is just a buttery smooth draw cycle with zero hump into the valley. And because the Bowtech has movable draw stops, you can set them up any way you like. If you want to be super aggressive to have more holding weight, you can bring the stops in. If you want to be able to hold at full draw for a super long time comfortably and you don't mind a little bit less holding weight, you can let them out. It's also a very easy bow to let down. So that's really why it gets top marks for me. It's fine in performance mode as well. It's just a little bit stiffer and maybe a little bit more of a dump into the valley, and it's just not worth the 5 feet a second extra speed I was getting out of this. But the Reckoning 38 with comfort mode is just buttery smooth draw cycle. And most of them this year really, in fact, are. There's not a great difference between first to fourth. But for me, the Bowtech stood out just by that hair. All right, second for me in this incredibly close race is the Prime Black 9. And reasonably speaking, it is very similar to how the Reckoning feels. So I'll draw back in a second for you. And again, it's just, I'm going to draw back as slow as I can. Very smooth. Like there might be, if there's any hump into the valley, it is super small, but that's largely because I've got the draw stops pulled in. Like the Bowtech, the Prime allows you to move those draw stops, which I think is huge, and really lets you find the draw cycle and hold for you. So I'll draw a second time for you here, just a little faster, and yeah, again, a really nice and smooth and linear pull. In years past, I found the Primes had a little bit of a dump into the valley, much more than this, and they've really eliminated that with the Black 9 this year. I'm a big fan of it, and I'm hoping it's going to continue on for years to come from Prime. So third place for me is going to go to the Mathews TRX 36. And the cross-centric cam that Mathews uses has long been a favorite of mine. So I draw it back here. It's just, Mathews knows how to make a smooth drawing bow, and this one is no different. It's a little more aggressive to hold this bow at full draw, like not quite as comfortable for me, although you can get I think 80% let off mods. I've got 60 or 70s on this one, I believe. So let me lower that down and try to explain a little bit more. For this year, I've noticed specifically that it lightens up a lot in that last third of the draw. So I'll try to draw it back here again, and right here. Once you get past here, it's just smooth. I wouldn't call it a dump, but it's noticeably easier in that back half, and probably just a hair less smooth than the Bowtech and the Prime for me. But again, very close. We're really splitting hairs here, looking at the best drawing bows of the year. In fourth for me this year is the Hoyt Invicta with the SVX cam. This is my first year using that kind of spiral style cam from Hoyt. I've generally speaking used the GTX or the X3s in years past, which are their smoother cam. This is the one they sent to me this year, and I'm very happy they sent that. I love how this bow shoots. It is a little more aggressive on the draw than the other bows here. Again, very smooth, again, with no dump into the valley. All the manufacturers seem to have that in common this year. But it's just a hair more aggressive than the others, especially when you've got it out at 60 pounds like I do right now. But still, it's smooth. It's pretty easy to hold. Again, it's a little aggressive at full draw like the Mathews. I do wish I could move the draw stops in or out to suit my particular holding weight that I would like. But for the most part, again, I'm very happy with how this one holds as well. Like I'm calling this one fourth place, but realistically, it's a very small difference between these. Unlike the hunting bows that I talked about in the video last week, which again were much more of a difference between first and sixth. The target bows are very close together. These are 4 top all-world kind of target bows, and I do like them all. But that's the order I personally like them in. Your mileage is going to vary. Thanks so much for watching Archery Talk. Please do like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel an awful lot, and we'll see you again soon.